Travolting presents Bobbin for Robin. Hosted by Jeff Sweeney and Stuart Elmore. Covering The Night Listener. Enjoy the episode. This is WBST Travolting Radio, brought to you by Gabriel Noon at Midnight. What a fucking good name.
That was a good name.
Gabriel Noon at Night.
Well, Gabriel Noon at Night is good.
Noon at Night is
but
good.
It is quite obvious what they're trying to do because his name, when looked at, is No One.
Right.
No One at Night.
Right.
Because there's no one really there. Not with him, but with
Not
the
with
kid.
him, but with the kid.
Spoiler alert for The Night Listener in the movie.
Yeah.
The movie that you clicked on this episode saying, I don't know what that is.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Travolting Presents Bobbin for Robin. Thank you for listening to last week's episode on The Big White, where we covered a very cold, dreary, snowy, ice-infested movie and took place in Alaska.
So we covered that movie. And we talked a lot about how similar to Fargo it was.
Yeah.
And then that night I watched Fargo because I was in the mood.
Right.
And I did not even clock how many specific things are just directly pulled from Fargo in that movie.
Right? And
Holly Hunter at the end of The Big White, running away in the red coat.
yeah.
That's just the guy, that's a poster for Fargo.
Yeah. Right.
I was kind of unimaginative riff on Fargo. And now I'm just fully in the level of that is just a ripoff.
It's just a Fargo ripoff.
It's just a ripoff.
Well, but then, of course, shortly after that, we recorded that episode. And by the time you obviously listened to it, and if you're in the Chicago or really just the Midwest, Northeast area in the United States, you're going through a polar vortex with -5 degrees. And now we're getting pummeled with snow. So we're living in the Big White right now. That's my punchline to this whole bit is we are currently living in the Big White. But now... the year is 2006. Robin Williams' career is pretty much in the toilet at this point. His credibility's really gone down. He's taking whatever gigs he can get. Context for Robin and these roles for these upcoming movies that we're going to be talking about, there's not going to be much. It's pretty much whatever studio or independent filmmaker has in mind for a role, and Robin's on the list, and he gets reached out, and he says yes.
Yeah, he's kind of just going to be in it.
He's kind of just going to be in it.
He doesn't really have his pick of
Right.
the litter anymore. He's not working with... he's going to work with Barry Levinson again.
Yeah,
But Barry Levinson's kind of washed up by that point.
exactly. So, Night Listener is a low-budget indie drama thriller. I think he's based in New York, his character, right? Yeah, I think so. And, New York City radio show host.
The thing that's crazy is I'm looking now. He's in 1, 2, 3, 4... He's in 4 to 5 movies in 2006.
Oh, yeah, he's
in an obscene amount of movies.
He's busy.
in
Well,
2000.
he's got to pay off all the stuff, man. I don't know. He's still a working man. He's got 3 kids, 3 mouths to feed. He will always be.
Yeah, his 2006 is The Night Listener, RV, Everyone's Hero, Man of the Year, Happy Feet, and Night at the Museum. The next month and a half of this show is just covering 1 year.
It's crazy, right?
That is nuts.
He does a lot in 2006. It's pretty much it's his paycheck year. He's just trying to
Cashing in.
just cashing in all the bits he can get. The Night Listener, he's cashing in for drama thriller role. We talked about the Final Cut recently. We talked about Insomnia. We've talked about 1 Hour Photo. This is kind of in that same ballpark of drama-led, thriller-led role. He's not funny in this movie. Night Listener is coded to be the filmmaker Patrick Stetner, I think, calls it a thriller of the heart.
Thriller of the Heart.
Thriller of the heart. What does that fucking mean?
Okay, so here's my thing about this movie.
What's the thriller part of this movie?
Here's the thing. I did actually find this movie modestly compelling, which is more than I can say for most of the Robins we've been covering recently.
I thought first and third act were pretty good.
I was generally kind of invested in the story through the whole movie.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
But like it fulfilled the basic like tenets of drama that
Sure.
allowed me to like not like feel like I would rather be doing something else. Like a lot of these movies have been covering, like I'm watching it, I'm just like, I could be like doing something right now.
Right.
Or I could be watching a better movie.
Yeah.
In the back of my mind, I'm thinking about the movie I actually want to be watching right now.
Right. Right.
This was not one of those. I was like
Interesting.
genuinely like, okay. I was invested in the story, seeing where it went. I wanted to know the finale.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm still not like giving it anything over like a 6 out of 10. Like, it's not like it's incredible, but it did succeed in, you know, it feels like such low praise. To be like, it fulfilled the basic tenets of drama to like
It
make a
fulfilled the
competent
base-
movie.
It made a competent movie. And I will agree this is a competently made movie. My biggest issue with it is that, and we'll talk about this, but the audience and myself, like I got clued in to this story pretty quickly. First off, if you do any research on this story, a lot of this gets spoiled pretty quickly just because like the it's inspired by a true story. And if you look into what that true story is, it is the plot of this movie.
Yeah.
Guy gets reached out to for a book deal. He looks at it, reads the book. It's about this boy's, you know, life struggle of living in an abusive home and being like molested and all this stuff, contracting AIDS, and he's like has months to live. He's so like invested in the story. He wants to find out more about this kid. He reaches out to the mom. He talks to the kid on the phone. He's like, I want to meet you guys. And then he finds out, oh, actually, this boy is not real. This was all a fictitious story. So then the guy's like, what if I made a movie about that exact same thing?
Yeah. Well, it's a book. It's a book about a fake thing.
Yes.
And then a movie based on the book about the real incident.
Right.
But the book is also like a dramatization
yes.
of the real thing.
Right.
It's not a nonfiction book.
Exactly.
It's a very interesting, like, kind of domino effect getting us here.
Yes, exactly. And so when I did like 5 minutes of research, I'm like, oh, like the twist here is going to be like the boy's not real.
Yeah.
And I knew that by like minute 10, 15. So that being said,
I clocked the boy was not actually the boy. I did just like, because I didn't do any research in advance.
yeah.
Maybe that was an advantage to me because I was just trying to figure out exactly what the connection was. Because it doesn't drop the reveal of like Tony
not
Collette like being blind and whatnot until about halfway through.
Right.
So mentally, I'm like, is she the boy? Is the boy her?
Yeah.
There's part where I'm like, is the boy actually Robin as a kid getting over his abuse? And this is all in his imagination?
Yeah.
Like, I was running through all of these like scenarios.
And so for me, like I read the research about like how the mom was doing like the impression of the boy's voice and that he even heard that at some point. So at one point I'm like, okay, Tony Collette is going to come out as like crazy of some kind or mentally ill, whatever it might be. And I knew that and still even that to be said, the first act, my laundry's done. The first act of the movie like kind of kept me tied in a little bit just because, as you said, I was wanting to see what the threads of the two stories were going to do. Robin as like a radio show host whose life is kind of going down the toilet a little bit. He reaches out to this boy. How's that going to like intersect? You know, is that going to give him like a new purpose? It's going to like blah, 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 whatever it might be. And then by act 2, it's like Robin's character is still trying to figure out the puzzle.
Yeah.
And like halfway through act 2, I figured out the puzzle.
Yeah.
And I think most audiences at this point have at least figured out 75% of the puzzle. But the movie thinks the audience is still
doesn't
only
know the puzzle.
25% of the way there. And so in act 2, I'm thinking like, okay, like I get this already.
Yeah.
Like let's keep it going. Keep it going because by the act 2, that's where, as you said, like I could be doing something else. I could be watching a better movie. I'm scrolling on my phone. Like act 2, I'm just like, all right, I get it. The boy's not real.
I think
like, let's keep moving.
If like that is a failing of the movie, that to my cursory understanding is the book does better. Is I never really get fully why Robin is so invested in this.
Yes.
Like I understand on it from a storytelling perspective why Robin is invested in this. Like I understand like he developed a relationship with this kid and yada yada yada. But I do just like the movie's missing like the final step to like really have me understanding his investment in this.
Right.
And why he is willing to fly to like Bumblefuck, This movie presents Wisconsin as like like a hellish wasteland, which I find so entertaining. He's even like, and I came out to like,
are we saying it's not?
Like, no, like in some places, yes, okay. But Wisconsin is a fine place. I just like, there's like a part where he describes it as, what word does he use?
He does have a good line about like, you know, this frozen hellscape.
Yeah, he says something like that. But like the presentation of Wisconsin is like, there's no light. Everything is dark. The people are like,
yeah, everything's night over there. Is there a single day scene?
All the people are miserable. Like,
yeah. Act 3, I will say, like after the part where he goes back to the house a second time, and he finds like the Playboy magazine.
Yeah.
That point to the end, like the movie kind of clocked me back into attention, mostly because it was finishing out the idea of like, okay, now Robin knows the truth. What's he going to do with that emotionally? Yeah. And that's a good part of the movie. It's like he has that final confrontation with Toni Collette. Toni Collette, when she bad,
when she bad,
does a really good job.
Some would say Mickey 17. I would say I think she's fun in Mickey 17.
I've watched Mickey 17, but I kind of erased that from my mind.
You've forgotten Mickey 17. Mickey 17's left your brain.
It left my brain.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get past Robert Pattinson's. I just gotta get.
Yeah, I just gotta get past this.
I just gotta get. Oh, I died again. Oh no!
I have so much respect for the voices he's doing in his career now. Robert Pattinson could be getting away with just like talking like a normal voice, or even just like an American accent.
Yeah.
Instead it's like, yeah, we cast him to play the Heron and the boy in the Heron. You're like, oh, I wonder what that character looks like. And it's like just like kind of this like seedy little guy, and he's just like, "Hey, how you doing? It's me." And you're like, what the fuck?
I think Robert Pattinson at heart,
Robert Pattinson as Danny DeVito as the Heron.
I think Robert Pattinson at heart should and is and has always been, but should do more often voice acting. Because I think he has like he's great. He just loves doing it. You can tell he loves doing it.
I am very excited to see what voice he's gonna pull out of the wood chop for his character in Dune 3.
Oh, me too.
He's playing a face changer, which is
weird.
Which bodes well for the opportunity for him to do some crazy voices.
Have you seen that funny clip of him and Jennifer Lawrence on Actors on Actors? And they're like, "What director would you work with that you haven't worked with yet?" And she's like, "Well, there is one, but he hasn't asked me." And it's like, "Who?" It's like, "Well, it's Christopher Nolan." And then Robert Pattinson just gives an awkward look. It's like, pretty good. And he's like, must be nice, huh? He's like, he's pretty good, not gonna lie. Obviously, for the audience, Robert Pattinson and Christopher Nolan were together on Tenet, a movie that I still don't understand. Anyway, so there was a movie / book / thing I that was lodged itself into my brain thinking of the story.
Yes.
And I had texted you about it, and I could not think of the fucking movie.
You saying it reminded me that we did cover this movie.
And like, so I was looking back through our film, I was like, is this a Fraser movie? I, for some reason, thought it was a Fraser movie.
The second you said it, I knew the movie. I just couldn't think of the name.
Right.
I was like, oh, it's the J.T. Leroy movie.
It's the J.T. Leroy, the Heart is Deceitful Above All Things.
Which I watched the documentary about the real J.T. Leroy story, which is very similar to this.
I've heard that's a really good documentary.
It's great. It's a good time.
And so I brought that back up in my brain because it has a similar kind of
similar
function.
idea.
Yeah, because like that's a Winona Ryder movie that she has like a cameo role in, but it's like the Sprouse brothers, Dylan and Cole Sprouse, play like this boy that goes through like a very abusive, turmoil-ish, childhood. There's like child molestation involved and all that stuff, but then in the context as we talked about the movie, the whole like J.T. Leroy and like that whole reveal thing, and what parts of that story was real, what parts were not real, and got into all of that sort of business stuff. I feel like there's, especially in the early 2000s, so Piper, I feel like in the early 2000s, I mean, this is a tale as old as time, of like the amount of like book deals, fictitious book deals written as like autobiographical, like book things that become movies that later turn out that actually wasn't correct.
I mean, it's kind of like I think it just partially comes from the onset of the internet era.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big part of it.
Yeah.
Because it's so much easier. I mean, a lot of these stories like the J.T. Leroy thing and the story that the book is that this movie is based on.
Yeah.
are like from the 90s.
Yeah.
But I do think like kind of for lack of a better term, like the shrinking of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's now much more connected, and it's much easier to contact somebody. And fame is now a much more omnipresent thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you only see these actors like in a movie or on the red carpet or something.
Yeah.
Like it's become just so like an all-consuming time management thing.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that's very much what kind of leads to that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something that like, man, like we've already covered like a movie that's done a little bit of this already, so it's interesting. But yeah, The Night Listener. Yeah, I mean this won't be a long plot to summarize.
No, it's actually it's a very simple plot. The movie's only 81 minutes long.
Yes.
Because it is just like you're kind of watching Robin work through the same thing in each of the three acts.
Yeah.
Like in each act, he has one all-consuming idea, and it's kind of what he spends the 30 minutes working on.
Yeah.
And then we move on to the next one.
Yeah. What do you think of Robin in this movie?
I thought he was good.
I thought he was all right.
I actually thought he was good.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty all right.
I thought he sold pretty convincingly at the end. Like the thing he actually sells quite well for the first half is that I never find it creepy that he has a friendship with like a 12-year-old boy.
I agree.
That's a very difficult like thread to
Yeah.
With what the movie's presenting. At first, I was like concerned because he's playing a gay man.
Yeah.
And he develops a friendship with like a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Who's dying of AIDS.
Right.
And I start thinking immediately like,
it's early 2000s.
Is this movie going to just like kind of be about how everyone thinks he's a creep?
Yeah.
And he's not? Or is it going to be about how he's actually a creep? Which I didn't suspect.
Right.
But I was like, oh, is this movie going to be, he develops a friendship with a kid, and then everyone's like, oh my God, the creepy gay guy is grooming this kid.
Yeah.
And then Robin's going to get like, excommunicated from society.
Yeah.
And the movie thankfully never even like broaches that as a question. Robin being gay like never is like a problem he's trying to overcome through the movie.
Yeah.
To its credit.
Yeah.
And based on his like just kind of genial nature, when he's just talking with the kid in the first act, I never like this is weird.
Right.
I'm just like, he feels like a guy who would develop a totally like friendly relationship with a fan of his work.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. There's a scene where like when he sneaks back into their house and the cop arrives and he gets arrested. What's she doing? Piper is on the table. And he gets picked up by police officer and arrested. And you think, of course, all right, they're going to arrest him for trespassing and possibly trying to like, because I also wasn't sure if the cop was in on it. You eventually, I think that scene is such a good scene because it does two things. Number one, Robin gets like tased and beaten because the cop thinks that he's one of this boy's torturers or whatever. But then the second thing it does is it clues you in like, oh, this entire town is in on it's like not in on it, but like believing
what
this.
I like is
they're believing this.
I like a movie. I love a movie about a conspiracy. I love movies about conspiracies, even if like they're outlandish and untrue quite frequently. But what I love even more than a conspiracy is a movie that is about how there's not a conspiracy, but it makes you think there is.
Yeah.
A great one is like Catherine Bigelow's Strange Days, where you spend basically most of the movie convinced that like there's a secret police death squad that's going around killing like prominent black men in Los Angeles to incite a race war. And it becomes at the end of the movie very clear. It's just two cops who did a traffic stop and out of racism shot somebody. And they're trying to cover it up and have concocted a grand conspiracy to come to like cover it up. And in a similar spoiler for Strange Days, if you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. It's a great movie. One of the best movies ever made, actually. It's one of my top 5. but like this movie gets you to a point mentally where you are willing to believe there's a grand conspiracy that everybody in this town is in on.
Because when you say in on, I think they are all buying it.
That is what ultimately it is that they're all buying it.
Oh, but you think
when
there's
the
like
cop
a thing
starts
that
taking him
away.
away.
You think there's
I start being like
they're in on the lie.
I start being like, oh, is there like just a child sex trafficking operation in this town? And they're all in on it.
Oh,
that's where my mind starts
you
going.
went to a very different place.
Because like the scene immediately preceding that is like he breaks into Toni Collette's house and she has like a creepy room where there's like chains up to a radiator. And you're just kind of like, oh, is the reveal going to be this? Why it's good that I knew nothing about this movie going.
Right.
Is the reveal going to be that the kid is real and they have a lot of kids here? Is she actually the one who committed the abuse that the kid that she's pretending the kid was a victim of?
I'm glad that wasn't
or
the
she's
case.
a victim. And so I start being like, oh, is this movie is Robin about to uncover like a vast operation? The cops are in on it, the town's covering it up. That's not where the movie goes. What I like is that it like lays that suspicion in your mind. Because mentally you are willing to now accept insanity. And then it's going to pull that back and just give you a much sadder reality.
Right.
Which I think like the heightening of those emotions to the like I said, I don't love this movie, but like to its credit, I think when it's good at tone management that it really heightens those emotions so that when it pulls them away, like the swing is so drastic for you as a viewer.
Because you mentioned you were glad that they did not go hard into the whole is Robin a creep trying to creep on this boy bit. And I agree with that. It's why the movie pulls me in a little bit more for Act 3 is because after Robin's fully, at least subconsciously, he knows the truth. Like by the time he leaves the house a second time, or the first time, sorry, when he leaves Toni Collette's house the first time and she gets him his car service, in my personal view, Robin is like 90% sure this boy does not exist. He's 90% sure. Like in my view, some people might think like, oh no, he thinks the boy could still be real. But I think like everything he does since that point is really just to like prove it to himself that he's not crazy.
He wants to prove it to himself and then he wants to prove it to other people.
Right. That he's not real. Beforehand, everything he was doing was partly like, I just care about this boy and I want to know more about the story, but also partly because I kind of want to prove that he's real for me.
Yeah.
Ever since he leaves Toni Collette's house that first time, everything he does after that is like, okay, now my job is to prove that he's not real, which makes the scene at the diner really good when he talks to like the waitress and he's like, so this boy, has he ever come in here?
Yeah.
No, he's at the hospital a lot. Have you ever seen this boy? Yeah. No, he's at the hospital a lot. Which hospitals is he in? And then that like it turns it into a new thing of like, okay, you're bumping it up a little bit for me. But like it's like now I might be giving this movie too much credit, but like I see Robin asking these questions and being like, I'm asking this not as a creep, but like, is this boy real? But like, I understand why you think I'm asking it as a creep because it's like a really good tug and pull in that third act.
The first act of this movie is like kind of just generally positive. Robin like in a friendship with this kid. And he's telling his story and he's developing a relationship with Donna. The second act is him investigating, like figuring out what's going on and eventually discovering like that the kid's not real. And the third act is like kind of just like sets itself up like Toni Collette is now hunting him.
Toni Collette is now hunting him.
It's like kind of what it sets up. It's not what it pays off.
Right. But it is almost there. It gets really close. The motel scene.
The motel. Because like you watch the third, you go into, it's another thing where I'm like, it's good, management where you go into the third act and you think like she tries to kill him with a truck.
Yes.
But also kill herself.
Yes.
And now you're like, she is just going to like hunt him down and kill him for ruining her life or whatever.
Right.
And
is she crazy? Is she mentally ill?
But that's not the story. She grabs him and tries to kill him with a truck because she's so like depressed that she wants to end her own life and wants to take him with her. Mm-hmm. But it's just like a manic episode, basically.
Right.
And the third act, she's like not hunting him down to like hurt him. She's like hunting him down to like just prove her story now. To tell him the truth. Because when he invites her to the motel, it's not like he invites her to the motel and there's like, a body or a gun or whatever. The movie wants you to think that there is. But she's just like literally just leaving him a VHS tape that's like her being abused as a kid.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
I thought it was the boy.
It is not I think Rory Culkin is playing her as a kid.
Oh.
That's what I interpreted.
Interesting. It's interesting. I didn't view it that way, but
but now as you're saying it, I can't.
Because he watches the tape and then he gets the call from Pete, quote unquote. It's actually what's her name, doing the voice,
right?
And he's like, Pete, was Donna ever abused as a girl?
Right.
And Pete like kind of chokes up, and you can tell that it's now Donna, and she's just like, I gotta get off the phone.
It's like she doesn't talk about that.
Yeah, and so it's like this is kind of like
great scene.
It's a good scene.
Yeah.
And so the movie does come to a much sadder conclusion where it wants you to, it keeps trying to trick you into thinking it's a thriller, but it's just like a sad story.
I think I would go from 2 to 2.5 now. But
yeah, like I'm ultimately like a 3 out of 5 for this movie. I think talking about it makes it sound better than it is.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's like bad. It's just like it is like
it's a bit hard work to make it through that second act. Yeah, especially like once you
even for only being 81 minutes, you get the vibe you got to add like 30 minutes or cut like 20 out.
Mm-hmm.
It either needs to just be like an episode of the Twilight Zone, like a 55-minute Twilight Zone episode, or it could probably be like 100 minutes.
What do you think about the ending where like she's like not actually blind, has like a blonde wig or whatever, and is like buying a house and has like a fake son with a a amputated leg?
She's continuing to move on.
Right.
She's faking the blindness is like kind of the
faking
vibe,
the
right?
blindness is the vibe, and
which Toni Collette does play well because there's like one scene where like she's doing the like looking around thing, but she does actually lock eyes with Robin for like part of the conversation.
She does,
and then she's like, "Oh wait, shit, I gotta,"
Well, and it's like she's good at maneuvering her house in the dark, which was a good lie. It's like Robin makes the line. It's like, sorry, it's just really dark in here. It's like, oh, I think the light switch is by the door or something, which begs the question, why would you ever know where your light switch is if you've never needed to use it because you're blind, but whatever. But then it's like, she does stumble over some things in the dark, particularly if Robin moves it, which you can make the case that, well, a blind person, if you move something in a blind person's home, they're going to bump into it because they're not used to it being there. But there's also the side of it being like, oh no, like she's used to her house being in a very particular way. The lights are off because she has to pass off this lie that she's blind.
Yeah.
And she does like the kind of cartoonish, like blind person looking up in the sky bit, while at the same time locking eyes with him during serious moments. So they're like looking back at it. I'm quarterbacking it now, but like when you do look back, you're like, I kind of do see where they might play some threads that she's like not actually blind.
She's faking it.
But then, because there's that line, who says the line where it's like, have you heard of this disease where it's like not Munchausen's by proxy, but it's kind of like...
It's one of the weird Sandra Oh scenes.
Yeah, Sandra Oh. Why is she in this movie?
She pops up like 3 times in this movie to like dispense knowledge and disappear. That's
really what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, she gives the line towards the end of the movie where it's like, maybe she has this ailment where it's just basically like, it's Munchausen's by proxy, only instead of thinking your child is sick when they're not, there is no child.
Yeah.
So you just have
there's
a fake...
there's no spoon.
You have a fake child with a fake sickness that you're trying to get attention.
The key is you must know there is no spoon.
My rusty salad.
No, it's the Matrix kid with the spoon.
Oh, I was doing salad fingers.
There's no spoon.
There's no spoon.
It's like the best line in the Matrix.
Yeah.
How do I make the spoon bend like this? The key is there is no spoon.
There is no spoon.
There's no spoon.
Yeah, and then Robin has this final monologue at the end where he's like, he talks about the story. He's a radio show host that like, it's like talk show. So he like tells stories at night. Basically, it's like campfire stories or whatever. And he's telling this story at the end. A lot of Robin voiceover stuff. But he's telling the story and he ends up being like, even if this wasn't a real boy, does that change the emotional impact it had on me or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of like the vibe that it ends, and that's the end of the movie. So I don't know. Like I said, first act pretty good. Third act tied me in a little bit more. Second act is where it lost steam a little bit for me. But I thought Robin was pretty good in this movie. Robin and Toni Collette are great together.
Yeah, no, the two of them are both quite good.
The two of them are quite good in the room together. Like, I just think that they have a really good banter back and forth. And, like, they're really good at, like, that, like, subtle manipulation within their dialogue to each other. Like every scene they have together, it's like a battle of wits between the two of them. And it's really good. Testimony to like how two really good actors in a room can like do.
Yeah, it's like, when you get the two of them in the room together, like you're saying, like they just like they elevate the material.
Yeah.
It is the value of having a movie star.
Yeah.
This is like, we might have talked about this in the show. Have I ever talked to you about like the LA Takedown thing?
No.
So Michael Mann directed Heat, one of the great movies.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like the incredible diner scene between Pacino and De Niro.
Yes.
It's like the meeting of the movie stars.
Mm-hmm.
3 years, or like, I don't know exactly how many, but several years prior to Heat, Michael Mann takes the script for Heat and makes a TV movie out of it that nobody has ever like watched. I mean, people have watched it, but like preferably. It's like 90 minutes long, and it has mostly the same dialogue. And there's the diner scene in the middle of the movie, played by two TV day player actors. And it has no juice.
Really?
And it's so funny because like it's the exact same scene, the exact same dialogue, but it's the difference between like these two guys on TV and Pacino and De Niro doing it. And I think that, to a much lesser extent in The Night Lister, I'm not getting crazy here. But like watching scenes with like Toni Collette and Rob Williams, they are elevating the material out of like, if this was just like, Joe Schmo from Blue Bloods.
Yeah.
I've been using Blue Bloods a lot in this show. Like,
You got some beef with Blue Bloods, dude.
I just think it's a fun name. You just like took some schmoes and you put them in the room and they're doing these scenes. I'm not invested. But Robin and Toni Collette are bringing a certain degree of pizzazz to it.
Yeah.
That ultimately notched this movie a 3 out of 5 for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I give it like 2.5 out of 5. Like it's watchable one time, but there's other things I'd much rather watch otherwise. So I think we did our thing covering the plot, right?
Yeah.
Like, this movie, I mean, it was made on a shoestring budget. The budget that's showing up for me is $3 million, plus or minus whatever. I feel like most of that was probably Robin's salary. And I mean, this movie takes place in a good amount of locations.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of like New York. And a lot of it's just like a cafe.
A cafe.
There were so many cafe scenes in this movie.
Yeah.
It made me want like a breakfast sandwich from a cafe.
Right.
Because I ended up Googling best breakfast sandwiches in Chicago, but not sit down restaurants. Because I was like, I'm going to just walk to a cafe. And then it was snowing. And I said, I'm not doing that.
Exactly. Yeah. So like, I don't know.
There is that one like opening scene where he's talking to his manager and they're walking like underneath that like beautiful awning in downtown Manhattan.
Oh, right.
Like kind of this like incredible like Art Deco. I don't know what that building is, but it's cool.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I will say this movie doesn't look like a shoestring budget.
No, it looks like
To a respectful
it
degree.
looks like a small budget stretched to its breaking point for an 80-minute movie.
Yeah. In like a complimentary way.
Because there were some points where I'm just like, it feels like we did maybe skip over a plot development there.
Oh, right.
Because like we jump from Robin like presenting his like initial thought to his manager of like, maybe the kid's not real. To like him talking with Sandra Oh, and she's like, oh, what happened when the kid was told that the book isn't getting published? And he said, oh, they were devastated. I'm like, it feels like we should see that scene.
Yeah. It does feel like we should see
so
that
you
scene.
you can definitely get the vibe of like
That's an easy phone call scene to do.
that they kind of like trimmed this down a little bit is the vibe. There are some things I wanted to say before we
Please.
wrapped it up.
Please.
First, that the kid is played by Rory Culkin.
Yes.
Just like it's funny how much he looks and sounds like the other two Culkins,
Yeah.
and is tragically the least successful of the three.
Whatever happened to him? What's he
I
doing?
don't know what Rory Culkin is up to.
What is Rory Culkin doing today?
Rory Culkin, he was in a Black Mirror episode in 2023 and directed a short film that premiered at the Woodstock Film Festival.
So they're doing stuff.
He's in stuff. He's not been in a movie.
That was the Culkin in Signs?
Yes, that is the Culkin in Signs.
Oh, I thought that was a different Culkin.
No, it's not.
Man, you get these Culkins mixed
This
up.
Culkin was also in Zodiac and Scream 4. And the last movie I recognize on his run is in 2007. He was in Columbus.
So, I mean, they're working.
He's working.
They're working. They're doing stuff.
He's in 7 episodes of Under the Banner of Heaven.
Wow.
Um,
That's crazy.
but compared to
that was
Kieran
the
Culkin, who won an Oscar last year, and Macaulay Culkin, who's having a spontaneous comeback right now.
Yeah, because they're in Fallout, right?
He's in Fallout, and like, has just like been present in a lot of things.
Yeah.
They were at the Golden Globes and said this was their first time there in like 20 something years.
Wow.
Weird, like good for Macaulay Culkin. Like,
Yeah.
Just a kind of a fun random comeback.
Macaulay Culkin, I feel like, has just been living a great life outside of acting.
Yeah, he just
Like got married, had some kids, and like.
look. The thing about like when you're Macaulay Culkin, and like obviously he had a lot of personal life troubles.
Yeah.
But like when you get to like this age, you can just make bank once a year around Christmas.
Mhm.
You go to like 30 screenings of Home Alone.
Yeah.
You answer some questions. You take some pictures. You're set.
You're set.
That's all you need.
It's all you need. Yeah. What a life it must be. So this movie is released. First goes out to Sundance in January 2006. Then it's gets a limited release August 2006. It doesn't get the best reviews, but I will say a lot of the reviews are kind of how you're saying, Jeff, where it's like, it's like well-meaning. It's like it's got an idea. It's competently made. It loses a little bit of steam, but like so like Michael Phillips from the Los Angeles Times, it's a small but crafty and well-acted picture. The pacing and staging of the later scenes could use a little more electricity and momentum and a little less restraint, yet the night listener keeps you watching and listening.
Oh, two more things.
Yeah.
Number one, Robin uses a sandwich vending machine in this movie, and it really upset me.
Why?
Because he uses a sandwich vending machine, he bites into it, and it tastes like shit, and he's like, I'm like, why'd you trust the sandwich vending machine?
It's a sandwich vending
Robin
machine.
Williams. Two. Good bit in this movie. When he breaks into the hospital, and he goes to find the kid, and he thinks it's the real kid, and then it turns around, and the kid shrieks him like a pod person.
Wait, what? That's cool.
Remember when he breaks into the hospital,
and
and he
the
like,
kid like gets up and like screams at him?
No, there's a kid, and he like, you expect the kid's just gonna go, ah! Or something like that. Like a kid would if there's a random person in their room.
Yeah.
But it's so weird and like kind of plays into like the conspiracy like elements that this movie's pulled from. The kid shrieks exactly like the pod people in Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh, weird.
He turns and goes, it's like it's very bizarre.
I just thought of it like it being in Robin Williams' head.
It was either Robin's head or like the kid has like some serious problems and he can't, verbalize a scream. But I just like
Weird.
it is weird that he does like a pod people scream.
It is weird
in this movie, and I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
I
Pod people scream.
pod
Cancer
people scream.
boy. Cancer kid.
And then the kid also calls Robin Williams a dick smoker at some point, which, yeah. Anyway, continue.
Can't go wrong with dicks. Mick LaSalle from the San Francisco Chronicle described it: a movie with lots of heart but no heartbeat. It feels infected by a malaise, yet the film has intelligence and integrity and cannot be dismissed. Ultimately, I think Rotten Tomatoes, it's sitting at a 40%, which feels about right. 40%, average of IMDb at 5.5. So that seems pretty reasonable to me. Like it's like lukewarm. Like it's kind of like it's like fine. It's got some okay bits, but like you might want you have to really be in a mood for a movie like this. Budget of $3 million, it makes $10.6 million. So take that for what you will. $3 million making $10 million. It is a profit.
Yeah. No, it's a profit.
It's a profit. People went and saw it.
It's like the kind of performance that could like propel Robin for like another year.
Yeah.
Like,
and Miramax made this movie.
Less said the better.
Yeah. Well, I just Miramax in the early 2000s. It's Miramax. Like they, this is after Lord of the Rings.
They technically don't do Lord of the Rings,
but
New Line does.
right.
So okay, Lord of the Rings corner.
No.
I'm gonna do it extremely quick. Extremely quick.
Okay.
Miramax has the rights to the Lord of the Rings books. They want to make it. They're the ones who hire Peter Jackson, the awful Weinstein brothers. They hire Peter Jackson. They say you can make 2 movies. He does not think he can accomplish it in 2 movies. He manages to negotiate with Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema, moving Lord of the Rings over there. And making 3 movies all at once, and the Weinsteins like kind of begrudgingly in hindsight release Lord of the Rings to New Line to be made, and then like Lord of the Rings like smokes their movie at the Oscars. Anyway, that's all I have to say.
Okay. Well, Miramax, all I will say is Miramax early 2000s is they're still pretty hot at this.
We're getting near the end of them.
We are getting near.
They're wrapping up in the next few years.
So that is The Night Listener.
Yes.
I don't have anything more to say. Bobby Cannavale. Is that
Bobby
his name?
Cannavale. We didn't even mention him once.
We didn't even mention him once. He is Robert Williams' lover / former lover. Unclear. It's unclear.
No, he is his former lover who they get back together and then like they don't. And
Unclear.
It's like so unimportant to the movie.
It is so unimportant to the movie. And we did talk about we did give Sandra Oh a small corner. Sandra Oh is in this movie. Yeah. But yeah, do you have any final thoughts, Jeff, before I take us out?
I don't.
Okay, neither do I. Thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode on The Night Listener. We hope you like this episode. If you do, please remember to rate, review, comment, like, subscribe, whatever platform you're listening on, of which we are on many. As always, special thanks to Michael Van Bodegum Smith for the theme music and Rebecca for the graphic design. Thank you for listening to this week's episode, Night Listener. Join us next week as we hit the road with RV.
True.
See you next week. Bye, guys.